Hi, I'd like to give my predictions on tonight's fights, which are now just a couple of hours away. I don't like to make predictions on most fights until the fights are drawing very close, only because a lot of things things change over the course of a promotion. Um, Injuries, whatever, hype, all that. I try to stay away from the hype. The networks and the promotional companies do their jobs, but I try to ignore all that and look strictly at the fighters. Now, having said that, tonight Danny Garcia takes on Mauricio Herrera. This fight is a complete waste of time from my perspective as a fan's perspective. Danny Garcia is the proven, uh, you know, is a proven product. He's a great fighter. I know that's debated within the boxing community and among the press and experts and stuff, but I think he's a great fighter. Um, he's a little overrated by some of the press and some fans, but I think he's very solid. And I expect him to blow out Herrera tonight, probably within 5, 6, maybe 7 rounds at the latest. I'm thinking a TKO because, I mean, Mauricio Herrera is nothing special, and he's an average journeyman. From the little bit that I've been able to dig up on him and even watch on YouTube, um, there's nothing impressive about him. He doesn't have a lot of power. Um, and, Danny's got good pop. Obviously, he's got a very solid skill set. He's a young guy, and he's beaten some good talent. So I think this fight is really stupid and it's a waste of time. But it's Danny Garcia, the 140-pound champion, so I'm gonna watch. Um, Probably just so that I can talk about it later. Hopefully, in Danny's next fight, providing he wins tonight, um, there's something more, more meaningful down the line for him in terms of fights. In terms of the Malik Scott Deontay Wilder fight tonight, I think that is actually worse than the Danny Garcia Mauricio Herrera fight. And I'll tell you why. I've been a fan of boxing since I was 8, so about 32, 30, going on 33 years. Um, in that time, I can't recall, and there may have been when I was young, but I can't recall another fighter that's been so slowly moved and so protected and had his record so padded as Deontay Wilder. And not only that, but Deontay Wilder, he seems like a nice guy, and and whenever I see interviews and stuff. So this is not a knock on him personally, but strictly speaking of him as strictly as a fighter, the dude is vastly overrated. I think he's one of the most overrated and overhyped boxers that's currently active. Um, and I know those terms get thrown around a lot: overrated, underrated. They're kind of cliches among boxing fans and even in the media. But in Deontay Wilder's case, it's true. The guy has very little boxing skill. He relies pretty much on his size and his strength to get by. I don't see a lot of skill in his punches. He doesn't look like a fighter like a Roy Jones or a Mayweather that as they age, that those basics are always going to be there and they can adjust to different situations. I think Deontay Wilder is somebody who will turn out to be maybe a C-level fighter, definitely a journeyman once he's exposed. And I think once he steps up to fight Stavern or even Ariola, anybody on that level, and those guys aren't even that great. But they're the next level below the Klitschko's right now, unfortunately. But I think those guys stop Wilder fairly easily. I know he was knocked down in an earlier fight, and they slowed his career movement down quite a bit after that. So, there's questions about his chin too. Having said all that about Deontay Wilder, I totally expect him to blow Malik Scott out of the water. I know that there's certain camps and certain groups of people within boxing media and even here online that are going to tell you or even pick Malik Scott because, oh, he's a slick boxer. Oh, he doesn't have power, but he's going to test Malik Scott, or I'm sorry, Deontay Wilder. I completely and utterly disagree. Deontay Wilder's probably going to bum rush him like he does almost every other opponent. He has very little boxing skill, so he's going to come with those wide looping shots. There won't be hardly any jabs, if any at all. There won't be a lot of head movement. He's going to come straight forward. He's going to be off balance, and he's eventually going to connect with one of those huge bombs he throws with his 200 and something pound frame behind it, and he's probably going to knock Malik Scott out. I would be shocked, completely shocked, if this fight goes beyond 6 rounds, and even more shocked and completely stunned if Malik Scott were to, upset him in any way by KO or even by decision. There's a reason, or given the fact that Deontay Wilder has been moved so slowly and so carefully throughout his career thus far, you have to remember there's a reason that he's fighting Malik Scott tonight, and not somebody more dangerous. And it's not just him and his team. It's that way in all of boxing. It's a calculated risk, and generally fighters, especially like Deontay Wilder, that are protected and are padding their record for maybe 1 or 2 big fights down the line. Their teams carefully go out and pick fights that they feel they can win. With 99 or 100% certainty. So those are my picks, and I'll make a video after the fights tonight. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks.